My name is Olusore and I work in consulting. My expectation really, what was it? Do my master's, graduate and get a job. Just things will pan out after then. I think that must be the boss. The fact that you would actually go to the bus stop at the right time and the bus will be there waiting for you. And they will actually leave even if there's no one that gets in. Yes, so that was... Okay, that must have been my dissertation. I was doing, my dissertation was a qualitative synthesis, and that meant I needed to review or synthesize a bunch of qualitative research that had been done. And I had filtered through, I was stuck with about 30 papers that I then needed to review, right? And I had found most of my papers except this particular one that I needed. And, if you know about qualitative synthesis, if you had said you're going to synthesize 50 papers, you have to synthesize 50 papers. And this one was just not findable. As I'd searched everywhere. My sister then was working on her PhD. We had searched her school's library, online library. I also had a friend who was also a doctor, academic doctor. We had searched, school's library. We had searched 2 weeks of finding one paper. It was frustrating. So within that period, Ibukun had called me just regular check-in like she typically would do. And I just went on about how I have tried to find this paper, I just need to get this dissertation done. And she then suggested to put it on the Outliers WhatsApp group. I'm like, really? Is that even a thing? But then, I drafted the message, put it up on the group, and I think it must have been less than 20 minutes. Someone just sends the paper to me, like, oh, magic. So yeah, that was a major challenge. Okay, so when I came to the UK, I came in the thick of the pandemic and like zilch, I wasn't seeing anybody. It was just myself because I was then living with my sister and her family, and so I was bored out of my mind. I was people starved, for lack of a better word, and I desperately needed human interactions outside my family, right? At that time, a friend of mine, Shure, because we had done the whole school runs together, prepping for visa and all of that, I had seen on his Instagram story about the Outliers. I'm like, as long as it's going to make me interact with other African or Nigerian students, I'm down for it. So I signed up, and then I signed up to be a contributor. At the time, I wasn't sure what I signed up for, but Ibukun called me, and then we had this uber long conversation for like 2 hours. Like, who is this person? And I think it was in that moment I bought into the vision of Outliers, because I could see the sweetness of Ibukun flowing through the expression of Outliers. And for me, that was just what I bought into. And as a contributor meant I needed to serve in one capacity or another. We kind of figured out, because I studied psychology, so we figured out, okay, it would be good for me to be in the welfare team, checking up on the community members and their welfare and all of that. So that was where I started serving, and then I went on to, start the body system within the Outliers community. But fast forward to the Outliers Hangout, it must have been, was it August? Yeah, 22nd of August, 2021. That was the karaoke, and then we had dinner afterwards. I was just drawn to this particular lady, and we're just talking, we had similar struggles, dissertation, wahala, and all of that. And I was like, oh, and then I mentioned my paper that I was trying to find. And I just put it on the group. People could advise me to put it on the group, and I put it on the group. And somebody sent it to me. She goes, oh, you're the person I sent the paper to. I'm like, are you the person that sent the paper to me? That was hilarious. You need to see us, that it was so hilarious, right? And that was the beginning of, an amazing friendship. We went on, our individual struggles of, really not wanting friendship at the time. I had just come out of a very bad friendship breakup, and I was not interested in any form of friendship with anybody or anything. But we then made a decision to be accountable, or just support ourselves on that dissertation journey. And I recall, for me, it was just, this is all about dissertation. After dissertation, I'm done with this person. I'm not going to be friends with anybody. But we kept the communication lines open, updates on dissertation progress and all of that. After the day I submitted my dissertation, I called her to give her an update or something my dissertation. Then we had this long, must have been an hour to 2 hours long conversation. And the next thing, I was planning a trip to go and see this person, and yeah. I think the thing that struck me, or the thing that it was really natural, was when I got to her house that evening, and she's like, "Oh, I don't have food, but do you mind eating in the same place with me?" And then she dished the food in the same plate, and and that's also a part of our friendship culture, but that's something for another day. Yeah, that has been the beginning of an amazing friendship. We have grown from being community members. We have cried together, laughed together, gone through seasons together. We now live together. It has been such a beautiful journey of friendship that, was facilitated by the Outliers community.